Welcome to episode 12 or 13. Wait, okay, let me check. Welcome to episode 13. So as you can see, it seems like the subfloor is done. It's not completely done. The front pieces aren't screwed down. It took me a few days really to cut out this complicated front pattern and the removable section that I need to, and it's still not completely finished. There's quite a few things to do today before we start the roof rack, like I said at the end of the last episode. I don't know if you guys know or saw in the description of my last video, but I do live in Houston, and Hurricane Harvey came by, and it wiped a lot of stuff out. Two of my sister's houses got flooded, and the one that I always work on the bus at actually did get flooded and got a few inches of rain. And they're completely okay, just a lot of work to do in the house, and I've had to move out all my tools out of the garage that they have into the bus, so that's why you see a lot of stuff in the bus right now, because it's probably going to be here for the next few episodes. But basically, one good thing did come out of the hurricane. I discovered that every single bus window leaked. So I've spent the past few days removing all the windows, scraping out all the old sealant, and putting new polyurethane in there instead. Have yet to test it because I just finished a lot of that last night, but you guys will see when I test it. I didn't show me actually removing the silicone, or redoing them, just because it's really simple. You just take out 2 screws, at least on my school bus. Every school bus is going to be a little bit different, but you take out a few of the screws, you cut the silicone because that's all that holds the window in, and it just pops right out. You scrape out the old stuff, put in some new stuff. I taped around the edges of the window and the edges of the bus to kind of keep it as neat as possible, but I did use polyurethane so I can paint it after, and it's going to be blue. Right now it's white, and it looks bad. But, on the long list of things today, so we need to... Yeah, you can't see this at all. You can't see the list at all. My phone's too cracked. It's cracked from the bus, by the way. I've never cracked a phone before until now. But I have to fix the first step. The doors aren't closing all the way, so I need to trim off or sand off a little bit of the front piece of the subfloor, right where the double doors are. I need to screw down this front section of the floor, and that includes the removable section. I need to screw to the frame underneath it, so that way all of that's attached and you can pull it out all at the same time. I need to pull up the back section of the floor. I did have a little bit of pooling of the water before I realized the bus was leaking, and at some points it was raining really intensely, and it got enough in there to get a little bit under the floor, so I want to make sure there's no mold. If there is any of the foam pieces that look bad, I'm going to replace them. I have plenty of foam in the garage. I don't want to start out with any mold in the bus. That'd be bad. I need to seal the back 4 windows. We're going to run a bead of polyurethane on the inside and outside of the window seal. So I need to tape those up and seal those today. I also need to fix the subfloor right where the back door closes. Just need to drill a few spots so the bolts on the back door have room to fit into the bus, because it's really difficult to keep closed right now, and it probably is eventually going to damage the lock if I leave it like that. And if all that is done, then I'm going to start the roof rack. But we'll see. Oh, I also need to, before we start the roof rack, I'm going to tape out the interior of the bus and where everything is going to go, because that's going to dictate kind of how big I make the roof rack. I have a chimney for the wood stove that's going to be going out the roof, and I don't want that to go through the roof rack. That would make things a lot more difficult for it. So, yeah, let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is screw down the front sections of the floor and get those finalized. Let's do it. Okay, the floor's done. I went ahead and screwed down the front, screwed down this middle section, and I have finished the little removable section. That is where I'm going to be able to access the engine cover if I ever need to get to it. Let me show you. Ow! Hit my knee. So basically, I made a frame that sits against the floor frame. That's not screwed into the floor frame. It's completely detached. And then after that, I've made some foam pieces that were the same size as these intersections. And then I cut the front piece of wood. I first made it fit all at the same time, and then I cut out the proper length with a little bit of overhang. So it's going to sit on the part of the frame that's attached to the rest of the floor. And then I glued the pieces of foam to this part instead of to the floor. That way they come out with it, and it's still insulated, and it's good. So let's fit it. There we go. A little wobbly, but awesome. Oh, okay. Let's check the list. Alright, finished floor, fix the first step, all done. Now we are going to fix the back door, make it close better, and then probably start taping up the windows to seal all the 4 back windows. I don't feel like moving all the stuff in the back just yet to check the back floor. So, let's make sure the back door closes. I don't know what I'm saying. Okay guys, I think I've finished taking care of the back floor, at least for a few hours. Let me show you kind of the situation going on. So ignore this, I spilled some acetone on it, and apparently acetone melts foam. But I don't see any sort of molds or any sitting water anymore. That's just the adhesive that's come detached. I'm going to put a little bit more adhesive under all of these back pieces because the water kind of got to it before it cured completely. But I went ahead and vacuumed out all the sides. I also vacuumed out basically everywhere around this back area. I then wiped it down with acetone. It's a little dark. I then wiped it down with acetone all around here. Every single corner I wiped down these middle sections, down the back corners, and then those very back places. And then after that, I sprayed a lot of bleach around every single corner in the bus, even in the front where there were some leaks under the window, because the bleach will kill any sort of mold that's maybe trapped in the folds of the polyurethane. Because I did see a little bit of white stuff, but I'm not sure if that was mold or just like residue or dirt or anything. But just to be safe, I've sprayed some bleach all around here. Have a fan trying to dry that out. I'll give that a few hours to make sure it's completely dry, and then I'm going to go ahead and put the floor back down and glue the foam to the metal, and we should be good to go. So let me know down below if you think I should be taking any more precautions. This is basically what everybody's doing in their houses here in Houston right now, is you remove all the bad stuff, dry it out, spray it with bleach to make sure it kills any bacteria or any mold that would be there, and put it back together. Like I said, the foam I bought is already moisture resistant and pretty good with that, so I don't think anything's going to grow directly on there, not to mention there's nothing on there. And I was drying it out constantly during the hurricane. I would come outside every few hours and switch out the towels with new ones, so I think everything's pretty good. I just wanted to make sure that nothing started growing in the polyurethane down there, because it's not the best application on my part, so there's definitely a lot of places water could be trapped in there and growing mold, so I think I'm good. Yeah, just going to let this dry, but let me know if you think I should be doing anything else. Like I said, there's nothing in the foam, so I don't need to replace the foam. Just, yeah, let me know if you have any more expertise on there down below. the next thing I'm going to do is seal the rear windows. So let's get started taping those up. Okay, I've taped up all the windows. I was going to do both sides, the inside and the outside, but I was thinking while I was taping there's no way water should get through the outside one because it should just drain off of it. So I'm just going to do the inside and then test it and see if there's still leaks, and if so, I'll probably do the outside. Okay, so I have the middle of I have the inside of the bus all taped out for where everything is going to go. I'm going to save that and not show you that now because that's going to be a surprise. But what I did that for is to figure out where my bed is going to be, because I'm trying to figure out how big and where the roof rack is going to go. Because right next to the bed is going to be the fireplace that comes out of the roof, and I can't have that come through the roof rack because it'll burn it. But I have gotten that placement figured out, and I have the two major pieces of the roof rack cut. Let me show you them. So basically we have these two, they were like 3.5 by 3s or some weird like fence posts I got for free from a guy off of Craigslist. But basically we planed them all down to where they were 2 3/4 of an inch on each side, square. And then I sat them on the roof, and I made this angled cut with a planer. That way they sit completely straight on the roof when I attach the boards on here. So yeah. All right, I'm gonna wrap this up really quickly because there's a guy that just parked in front of the house. I don't know what he's here for, but don't forget to subscribe down below for the next episode. I know this one wasn't super exciting. The next one should be a lot better. We'll be attaching these pieces to the roof, starting the remaining bits of the roof rack, and also attaching the solar panel and the backup camera to the school bus. So my links to everything is down below. Definitely leave a like if you like the video. Also feel free to subscribe down below so you can see next episode, and I'll see you guys next time. See ya. Good night. Good night. Good night. This is the end of the vlog. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night.